What's up, boss man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, sir? How's everything?
All right.
All right.
So far, so good. I hope you don't complicate things too much.
Today's gonna be easy day, sir. Light day, light day, light day.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing all right. So we only have one more section to talk about before we close out. Let me see what chapter is this we in. I lost my page.
I'm
Chapter
doing so much, I don't know where we are. We're chapter 7.
7. Yep. Trust me, I'm there with you. You see, I ain't know.
Okay, good.
So yep. So let's see, it's 1:30. So our last section, 7.6 temperature conversion between US and metric. So we already talked about conversion between US and metric. We talked about that in when we did that first chapter. So it has those things in there. As a matter of fact, let me show you this. Do I still have it up? All right, hold on a second. Let me pull it up. All right, so we talked about doing this before, and notice they give you conversion table right here. And so 937 miles, they want you converted to not miles, milliliters, excuse me, milliliters, and they want to convert it to fluid ounces. So you would use the conversion factor. Here it go right here. See if I can highlight it. And so you would use that as a fraction when we talked about that process. So the new piece about this, or the new piece in this section is converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Then after that, we'll be done as far as new material, as far as chapter 7 is concerned. So, so I know Mr. Tucker has shot me a question. So we're going to do that one. He shot it to me an email, so we'll knock that one out. I think that'd be beneficial to everybody. But outside of that, if you guys have questions, we can talk about them and go from there. So we have Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's F is equal to 9/5 times C plus 32, or 1.8 C times plus 30. I said times 32. I mean plus 32. Sorry about that. And then 1.8 C plus 32. So that 9 divided by 5 is 1.8 as a decimal. That's all. But it's the same thing, same formula. In other words, if you have your Celsius, you can plug it in for C and then convert it to Fahrenheit. So if you're starting off with Celsius, you plug it in for C, do the calculation. And who's this knocking on my door? I'm sorry, y'all. Let me make sure this is not working from home, right? Give me a second. All right. So yeah, this is the formula from for Celsius to Fahrenheit. And so let's use that. So notice it says convert 15 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So all you do is take that 15 and plug it into the equation or into the formula. So notice what I did in the blue. I showed you how you could type it into your formula. That's just, you can do 9 times 15 divided by 5. I mean, I type into a formula, type it into your calculator. That 9 times 15, you can type it into your calculator as 9 times 15 divided by 5. And then add 32 to that, and that will give you your answer. In the red is just me doing it by hand. So I divided 5 into 15, and that gave me 3, and then 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 32 is 59. But once again, if you're going to use the calculator, 9 times 15 divided by 5 will give you that 27. So 15 degrees Celsius is 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
That first
No problem at all. Yes, sir.
that first step, 9/5 times 15.
Mhm.
How you solve that again? Like how you
Right
get
here in
that
the blue,
in the
you
blue?
can put it in a
Nine-
calculator like that. 9 times 15 divided by 5. So if you put it in a calculator like that, then that'll give you 27. And that'll always work even if 5 is not divisible or not able to divide into 15. See, I did it by hand because it was easy because 5 can divide into 15 and leave me with 3. And then I multiplied 9 times 3 and that gave me 27. You don't look like you believe me, sir.
No, I'm saying I just don't. Oh, so I just don't understand the process
Mhm.
of basically simplifying that part of that problem.
Okay,
You know
let's
what I
look
mean?
at it like this. All right. So now when you talk about fraction, you can either multiply across
Mm-hmm.
and would it be 5 on bottom? That's going to be 135 and then divide the 5 into 135 and it should give you 27.
Or you can simplify first.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay. I got you. I
But
was
either way,
confused.
but either way, that 5 is going to divide into the numerator. It's just when are you going to do it?
Okay. To make the easier multiplication, you did it first.
Exactly.
Understood. Let me finish copying that because I was running my mouth.
No, you good. You good. Yep.
So for these conversions, we can use, it's so much easier just to plug it into the calculator. So we'll be able to do that for the test, correct?
Yeah, that'll be
Use the
fine.
calculator. Okay.
Mhm.
And will we have to write down the steps that the calculator does, or just write down what we put into the calculator?
Yeah, at least, show me something. You may not have to write, down every single step, you know what I mean? But
Okay, I'll show you.
yeah, show me at least some thought process behind it, you know what I mean?
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, I'm good.
All right, thank you, sir. Let's do it one more time. So we have 29 degrees Celsius and we want to convert it to Fahrenheit. Same process, but this time that 5 doesn't divide into 29 evenly. And I wanted to show you the other way by just using the 1.8 instead of the 9/5. Just showing you either way, they're valid. Both ways are valid, whether you use 9/5 or the 1.8. So I did 1.8 times the 29. That's 52.2. Then add that to 32, 84.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Finally, something I can understand, because we use this in nursing a lot. You
Oh,
have,
okay.
yeah. Well, years ago we had to convert.
Mhm.
Now everything is Celsius.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 37 was your trigger number.
All right, can we scroll up some? Yeah, I think y'all were done with that first one. And now we're going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. It's that same formula, just manipulated so that C is on one side and you have your Fahrenheit that you plug in. So if you're starting off with Fahrenheit, you want to convert to Celsius. That's why we have 5/9 here instead of 9/5, and we have -32 instead of +32. So you see the inversion of the formula that we had originally. So we have Celsius is equal to 5/9 times F-3. Also take note of the parentheses. So that means I need to do what's in the parentheses first, then multiply by 5/9. So be careful with that. All right, so let's scroll up. So here we want to convert 59 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So plug 59 in for F. First thing you want to do is what's in the parentheses. So we're not going to multiply that 5/9 yet. We're going to do what's in the parentheses, which is 59 minus 32. And that gives me 27. Now we have 5/9 times 27. Throw that in the calculator, or you can divide 9 into 27 like I was talking about the other process before. The 9 can divide into 27 evenly, which gives me 3. Then 5 times 3 is 13, or 15, excuse me. Any problems, any problems? All right, got one more. All right, so just like with the 59, plug in 114. 114 minus 32 is 82. Then 5/9 times 82. If you have something like this, I'm pretty sure they will ask you to round to the nearest decimal, because this is a run-on decimal, so 45.6 degrees Celsius.
All right, so you know how we did the first one, and it was 9/5 or 1.8, and all you did to get to 1.8 was to do the math. If you do this math, then and you try to do it in decimal, it's 0.555 whatever 6.
Right.
So how do you write that?
That's
Like,
why that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. That's why we didn't put it as an option.
Okay.
Because they don't want you to do that because of that run-on decimal. See, the other one ended and just gave you 1.8. That's why they gave it to you as an option. 5/9 is a 5 repeated to infinity. So they didn't give you that as an option to write, 0.5, whatever, or 5/5, because they don't want you to round that. They just want you to go ahead and multiply as 5/9.
Okay.
Yep. It's funny you said that. I was going to go back there and say, notice that, but you took us there anyway. So yeah.
I try to think ahead, so when you talk, it can all just make sense instead of me trying to make sense of it at the same time.
Yeah, not a
I'm
problem.
a weird thinker like that, man.
Oh no, I mean, actually, if you think about it, if you thought about it before, then if I come to it later, then all we're doing is reviewing now.
Yeah.
All right, questions on anything? Questions. Make sure we're all right. So those are that's the only new thing in the section that we haven't talked about already. So it's all, from this point forward, like I tell you, try the stuff out, see if you get stuck. And if you have questions, make sure you shoot them to me or bring them to class so we can talk about them. Is everybody good with this before I go to another page? Everybody straight? All right, let me pull up that question.
And I got another question, just so I can beat everybody else to the punch.
Mhm.
There were questions on the homework that had different what do you call them? The problems, like the cone or the sphere or the cylinder or the cube,
Mhm.
like how they all got different you know, I forget what it's called, man. A problem.
Formulas?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
formulas.
Uh-huh.
So how many of the different formulas are we going to be test on?
Well, you are expected to be able to use whichever ones they place before you, but you don't have to commit them to memory though. So you can always, pull them up or have them available for you to be able to use. So
Right.
that will always be. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess the question I'm asking is how many did we go over? Like how many did you, so the cone, the sphere, the cylinder, and the cube is what I got. So
Right.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss any.
Oh no, I didn't go over every single one of them. I don't have that much class time. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Oh,
it's just so if you have a problem with using any of them, whether I went over them or not, you always can bring them. But yeah, I think I only did like 4 at the most, 5 of them. So probably did like 4, maybe,
okay.
of the volume problems.
Yeah.
So here's the problem you sent me. All right, so we good to go, right, sir? This is what you want to see?
Most definitely.
All right, let me take a picture and go to the notes.
And what is this called? What we're doing right now?
They wanted us to just find the measures of angles A through E.
Alternate exterior angles and stuff like that. Is that what this is?
Well, that's along the same vein, but that's not what this is, because all we have is a triangle in between 2 lines. So there's no real name for it, but it's along those same lines and thought processes.
Just trying to figure out where I can do this and make it make sense in my notebook.
As far as your notes, this would be more so with the triangle notes, because we have this triangle in here and that's what it's playing off of.
Okay.
So yeah, so this more so would be with your triangle notes. Okay, so the first one, let me write this. You're looking for angle A, B, C, and D, E. All right, so the first one we can find is angle E. So that's a straight line. So I can subtract that from 180. So whenever you have a straight line, that's equal to 180 degrees.
What are you subtracting?
62. Both of those add up to give you 180. All right.
So we call that the back off. It's the back. Never mind. I'm trying to relate it.
Okay. All right. Got 120, 118. Should be 180 minus 62. Got 118. And that was straight angle with
These on the inside.
so we found that because that was a straight angle with that 62 degrees. All right. Now, and it did say our lines were parallel. Let me make sure.
Yeah, 71.
Yep. So do I want to go to A? Yeah, I guess I'll go to A. So now we have parallel lines here.
So
Yes.
how come you can't just subtract 71 from 180 on this one? Ain't it the same thing?
Well, right, but all three of these will give you 180. You see what I mean? So down here, what gives me my straight line is these two angles, right? 62 and E.
Mhm.
So now here, what gives me a straight line are three angles, this one, and this one.
Okay.
So if you subtract that from 180, then that's telling me A plus B is equal to the results. I still don't know what A or B are.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it would help me, but it won't help me get all the way to the answer. So now what I'm seeing is that because I have parallel lines, these lines are parallel and instead in the directions. And I have this line going through. You mentioned alternate interior angles.
Mhm.
So
So then A's got to be 71 too.
hold on 1 second. So, but what I'm saying is this E is actually equal to everything on this side. And what's on this is actually going to be, hey, you said alternate interior. So on the other side of you got this this line right here, right?
Mhm.
On the other side of the alternate interior, 62 and A are the angles that are equal. They said alternate, so you got the other side of your transversal. So the 62 is what A is going to be equal to. All right, so
So then 71 and D are, or D is 71 then.
let
Because
me
that's
write
the
this
same
down.
thing.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me write this down for notes. And then I'll look at it. You're probably right. So I just want to say alternate interior 62 degrees. All right, so let me erase this. So now, yes. So looking at your D, yep. So you're talking about alternate interior. Yep.
So you can get all that stuff without even doing any math.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was complicating the heck out of this.
All right, so we got, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna erase.
Am I the only one that had trouble with this?
No,
Well, I don't know. I won't know unless somebody asks me. So, you know.
no, I was trying to do it differently, and the way that you did it was much, I put more steps in it than should have been, in other words. And sometimes I got the right answer, sometimes I didn't. So I think I'm gonna try to do it like you're doing it.
Ooh. And then so yeah, a lot of times, and I think we talked about it before, there are multiple ways to getting these answers. And like you said, some of them call for more steps than others. So yeah. But that's how you learn it. That's how you learn
Some of it calls for 4 cups of coffee, some of it calls for 2.
it. All right, so you let me know when you're ready for B and C. I see you writing down.
All right, I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. So we have C left and B left. So we want to find C. That's a straight line with D, or straight angle with D. So you can do 180 minus 71 degrees. Should be 109. That's straight angle with C. Oh, not C, with D. And then with B, we have a triangle. So 180 minus.
Oh, B. What's B a straight angle with? A?
Huh?
I said, what is B a straight angle with?
Well, B, I use angles of a triangle. Now you could have did a straight angle though. Give me a second to write this. So I use angle of a triangle. So in other words, all three of these angles are supposed to add up to 180 degrees.
Uh-huh.
But that's a straight line with 71 B and A. So remember, A is 62 and we have 71, but D is 71. And we have 62 right here. So either way, you're going to subtract 71 to 62. Now, no matter whether you're using angles of a triangle or you recognize you have a straight line with these three angles. So either way, you're going to still do the same calculation.
All right.
All right. So is that good? Straight?
Yeah, straight papers.
Let me see if there's anything else that they want. We got 62. Yep, that's all they wanted for that problem. Okay. All right. So anything else, anybody else?
Somebody please ask some questions.
I'm here. So next class, once again, I'll open up the floor for questions. Also, what we're probably going to do is I'm going to send you guys links for because let's go here. Let's go here so I can show you.
I got more
Uh,
questions too, but not on this.
yeah, it's not a problem.
I just didn't want to be the only one asking questions.
Oh man, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are done with chapter 7. All right. So really, if you look at what we have, all we have left is chapter 9. But we have plenty of time left as far as classes are concerned. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to send you guys videos that you will view. You can view on your own time. We're not going to do it during class time. Class time will be reserved. Once we're done the lectures, class time will be reserved for review. You ask questions, whatever you want to ask. I will show up every day. If you don't have a question, you won't necessarily have to attend. I mean, it'll be up to you how you want to manage the rest of the time. But what I will send you are videos for you to view on your own time that will take the place of our class time. It'll just be like a 10-minute video or something like that. And you would just write out 10 things that you saw in the video. And that's it. And that'll be your assignment for the week. And that will be, that would take place of your attendance and all the stuff like that. So, but we got to fill up this class time, and it can't be on some stuff where ain't nothing else to do. Like you can't carry it that way. So just letting you know what we're doing. It should be easy grades. You know what I mean? Easy grades, one video per week, wherein you just check it out. And there will be applications. So like one video, statistics in the healthcare system or something like that. You see the dude doing the graphics and mathematics, say it's just something like that. All you gotta do is write down, and I'll probably put a number at 7. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Maybe 8 things that you saw in the video that you picked up from the video, and then I'll put the grade in math lab once you turn it in, something simple. But that will be our, validation for keeping things going and not me picking up new material to give to you. I'm pretty sure y'all don't want new material that you're held responsible for. So
when are we gonna do this proctor test? Like what day are we gonna do that chapter 7 proctor test or whatever? So I'll make it a priority not to miss that day.
Right. So today we cover with this. Let's see. Next Thursday, I think that'll be enough time for you guys to review, get in all the questions that you may have. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the 28th.
Are we able to do the test review now if we're ready for it? Okay.
Yes, it should be open.
Okay.
So and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's something that we said we were to do. At least one test that we knocked out proctored. So we would do that on the 28th. The 28th.
And it's just gonna be an hour and a half, however long class time is. That's
right.
That's all right. Cool.
And you can use whatever notes, whatever calculator, whatever website you normally use to do your homework. There's no lockdown browser, so you'll be able to use whatever it is that you normally use. Yep. And then for those who don't do as well as they would like, I will create a makeup opportunity for you. We'll talk about that. I'll send you the directions and all that stuff, and we'll talk about that. But it's the host that you knock it out first. So I don't want to worry about that.
All right. So my next question: if you're done with this, if I'm not barging in, do you have anything else with this?
No, you're fine. Let's go.
So my next question would be for a sphere, right? The formula for the sphere is V equals 4/3 pi times R cubed.
Hold on, get there, write it down. V equals 4/3 pi R cubed.
Yep.
Right.
So and in the, like, when I got the computer to help me solve the problem or whatever, it multiplied the 4/3 just times the R. And it didn't multiply it times the pi. Why is the pi not in it's in the equation, but it's not in the equation? And that's almost for all of them.
Well, so give me, what is your R? What R do you have?
I didn't write down this, but you can pick one. I don't care what it is.
Let me see. Do I want to go 3? I guess 3 is good enough. Let's just let R be equal to 3. All right, man. Yeah, that's fine. So that's going to be 3 cubed. That's going to be 27. Now, if I'm doing this by hand, not by the calculator, I will go ahead and divide just like I taught you said before, when I can divide first and then multiply, take the 3 into the 9, I mean into the 27, if I can get it out. And that's going to be 4 pi times 9. 4 times 9 is 36 pi. This number right here is my exact answer. All right. So now when you actually use pi, so 36 times pi is 113.097. That right there is your approximation. So they should ask you for both of those answers.
Mhm.
And that's what it is. Your answer with pi still in it is exact. So you simplify all the numbers around pi. And that's your number with pi still there. That's your exact answer, because it's called exact because, you know, pi is 3.14159, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't, you know, as long as that symbol is there, that represents all of pi. But once you round it off, whether you use 3.14 or you round it after you do your multiplication, now you have approximated the answer.
So yeah, all right. So but we have this order of operations that we're supposed to go by, and it says that I mean it in the order of operations. Don't it say that we're supposed to perform the pi? I mean, like that kind of operation, like one of the first steps in the
No,
equation.
that's all multiplication. Yeah. So pi is just a symbol and it represents a number. So that's the same thing as having 4/3, let's say 5 times 27. All that's just multiplication. Yep. So pi, all that's just multiplication. So you can do it, you know, when you have multiplication is commutative. So that means you can do it in any order. If you have
Okay.
all multiplication, you can do it in
Okay.
any order.
Okay.
So, yeah. Mhm.
All right. I got you. Appreciate you.
Yep. Not a problem. Anything else, sir? If you got some more, feel free. But anything else?
Yeah, I'm looking.
No rush.
There's nothing else that I really don't understand in this chapter. Everything's, like you said, pretty. As long as I can understand the formulas, and I know how to, then it's pretty much straightforward.
Okay, cool.
I just I sure just didn't understand all of that past stuff though.
Yeah.
Then it's as simple as it's supposed to be. And chapter 7 is all triangles and all of that stuff, spheres and all of that, angles, perimeters, got all that, obtuse, complementary. So okay, so there were some questions that there was like the supplementary angle of this. I forget what it was, and I know we can't go over like hypothetical questions and questions that don't have everything that you need, but it kind of confused me a little bit, the supplementary and the complementary. I know what what the definition is.
Yeah, let's see if I can find one. Matter of fact, I think this is the section. So if you see it, you know, as I scroll through, just let me know. Probably not these. I could get past the definition ones. Oh, okay. Just use it as complement, as supplement.
I think we're past this though a little bit.
Okay.
This is just addition and subtraction.
Yeah. Hold on. What did that say? Oh. So the angle between two walls is supplement. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but okay. So, but down at the bottom it says the supplement of a 134 angle is.
That should just be subtracting it from 180. You know, supplement 134.8. That's 45.2. Yep, it was just subtracting it from 180.
All right, I
And
probably did it.
if it said complement, then it would have been subtracting it from 90.
Okay.
Let's see, is any other one parallel? Oh, that's it. That's it. That's not the problem. Okay.
Corresponding angle. What's that?
Corresponding.
Will be like a 90 and a 90.
Now, if you have a corresponding angle, that's when we had this type of situation. I had parallel lines. And if I have A, B, C, D, that corresponds. Let's call this A1, B1, C1, D1. All of those, they mirror. That cluster
Okay.
is the same thing that I had. So A corresponds to A1. You know, B corresponds to this B right here. You know,
Okay.
so.
All right. Just trying to go over everything. I'm just trying to go over everything I might have had problems with because I can't remember
Yep.
everything. While you got this open and the opportunity for me.
Next class, while you're doing that, next class will be the same thing. You know, we close out this chapter. So next class, guys, if you have questions, make sure you bring them next class. The floor will be open. Yeah, I won't do anything new next class. So that the classroom will be open. If you don't have any questions or y'all don't show up, then you know I'll roll on. But you know, I go on about my business. Not, in other words, I wouldn't bring anything new. I'm not gonna do anything new next class. You know, the idea is now to get prepped for this test that is on the 28th. And this is on chapter 7. That's what we in, right?
The next test is the 28th. Chapter
Yeah.
7 test is the 28th.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm. And that's the one that we said we were going to get in and do it proctored. Haven't done any proctored tests up to this point. And don't forget the final exam is going to be proctored as well. We don't have a choice on that one. But we said we wanted to at least get one proctored test, and that was a regular test. So we can at least say we did that. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to send you guys a you know, directions on it. But you know, we talk about it as well. So basically, you'll come into the class like you normally would. Enable your cameras. So everybody needs to have the cameras enabled on that day. Bring your ID, show it to the camera, picture ID. So even if it's not TCC, you know, driver's license, that's fine. What is just to validate you are who you are. And then I'll shoot you the password. Leave your Zoom camera on, and you would just go, you know, to another window. You don't close it out. Go to another window and then open My Math Lab, and then just go into My Math like you normally would, type in the password I gave you, and then knock out the test. And that'll be it. That'll be once you're done, you don't have to let me know. You can just go ahead and log out. And you know, of course, hit submit. And that'll be that. So if you don't have questions now, check out that test review. Remember, if anything else, even if you haven't done all your homework, at least check out the test review to see if you have any questions that may be generated by looking at the test review. And just if there's even problems that you notice what Mr. Tucker gave me. He gave me a problem. I didn't drill him and say, man, did you even try it out? I didn't, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't the problem. You know, just if you see a problem, you just want to see me walk you through it. Just bring it to class and we'll walk through it. You know, so it's not even, you know, it's not even about that. I don't care whether you tried it or not. I didn't even ask where he got it from. You know, just bring the problems and we can knock it out. So and that's for any problems that you know, anything, you know, if you're still working on something old, bring it to class so we can knock it out. All right. Questions, concerns, comments before we close today?
So the test for it's still due on the 24th, and that's for the previous chapter, correct?
Right. So
Okay.
now chapter 7's content. Let me think about that, because we are coming up to pretty much finishing all this any new material as far as lecture is concerned. I might leave 7 open for a while, so I'll think about it. Right now, we're just looking at trying to prep for this test, this project test. So I'll think about a due date for that. No, it's not a big deal. All right. Anything else? Anybody else before we close? All right. So just reiterating what we're doing next class. I'm not going to do any new material at all next class. If you feel like you got it, you got the juice, and you're ready to roll, and you don't have any questions, you don't want to hear anybody else's questions, it's not mandatory that you come. next class. All I'm gonna do is just go over questions. So other than that, you guys have a good one. Be safe, and I'll see you next class.
Appreciate you, bro.
No problem. Thank you, man. Take care.
Yeah, be
Thank
safe out
you.
here.
Take care.